Here we go again. Third time's the charm. Jake tells me we don't have audio again. I don't know what to do. So we're running it back. Got MIGT coming up. We're trying to do a few extra videos that are not just us talking about different things, just some solo stuff. So we're gonna run it back. I don't have chat or any users. I'm not sure if it's because this isn't connected to because I'm not connected directly to our Twitch or what, but we're gonna give it a shot. It says it's connecting to chat, but who knows? Error loading data. Yeah, I suppose I could pull up the oh my god Twitch page. Okay. So now we're cooking, it looks like. Now we're cooking. And we got Jake watching. So, good times. My man says the music's a little too much. We're just trying to get things lined up here. Just got some bullshit in the background, a little non-copyrighted music. All right. So, as I've said twice, we got MIGT coming up. And so I've decided to play fucking Daughters of Cain again, which was dumb, but here we are. I have a lot of it painted. That's why I talked to Jake about it, and we kind of ran it back. And I decided that's the army to play. I don't know why. Oops, I bumped my camera there. And so I have 20 models to get painted in 11 days. So should be a piece of cake. I got to build though. I have 6 of those 20 built. And so I have to get the Spear Boys built, and then or Spear Gals, and then we're gonna get them painted similarly to this. It's not a super complicated paint scheme. Desert themed bases kind of go with my display board that I made for them, and really shitty highlights. But they're done, and we'll get them there, you know. So I'm on my second Spear Snake here. I was working on it. I talked all about how I like to set up my pieces that I carve off sometimes really organized after I clip them. This one has 3. These ones have 2 spots that I clipped from, and then this one has 1, and then that way I kind of have an idea of how many pieces I'm looking for besides the mold lines. That way I don't miss anything. So, and then I've talked a little bit about my trip 3 times now to no one. So I guess I'll run that back again here in a little bit. The reason Jake and I had not posted over the last few weeks, or not done a show, I took a little solo trip to London. and then met up with a couple of our cousins, or I guess technically one of our cousins and her husband in Ireland, and drank a lot. So went over to Guinness, checked that out. Went to a lot of castles in Ireland. Started in Dublin and then went over to Galway. I think my favorite part of that trip was one morning in Galway. One evening in Galway, we ended up deciding to take a drive down the Sky Road. So we headed up to Clifton, and then from Clifton, after we stopped for some chowder, we headed to yeah, go ahead, Jake. After Clifton, we headed to the Sky Road, and along the Sky Road there was lots of beautiful things to see, including the lookout over the North Atlantic. But the coolest thing was the castle we saw. It was Clifton Castle, and it really just made me think of all the Warhammer stuff, like the terrain and different things that we build. What is this crazy shit that we're listening to on this music? We're gonna change it up. Spotify. So anyway, that was probably one of my favorite things. Just that castle. The time of day we saw it, the sun was coming down. We had to walk through a gate which somebody used as their own home. It must have been the farmer that owned the land, and then down this hill to the castle, and then we basically had the place to ourselves. There was nobody down there. We kind of just cruised through the castle, and there were signs saying, like, if you get hurt, it's on you. So that was a pretty cool part of the trip. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Swaggy Shadow. Obviously myself. And then we're broadcasting on Old Man Games. What's going on? Welcome to the stream. I'm just talking about my trip to London and Ireland while I'm building models for MIGT. What's going on, Swaggy? All right, I can crank it up, or I can maybe bring the mic a little closer. How do I sound now? Better? Worse? Better? So anyway, I really enjoyed that part of the trip to Ireland, and then we hit. Okay, thanks, Jake. So we went back to Dublin to end it up, and then we headed home after that. That was when we went to Guinness. It was pretty cool. I don't know if you've ever been to a brewery. It was not like any brewery I've ever been to. It was large. The entire building was built to shape a pint glass. Thanks, Swag. Like to be shaped like a pint glass. No, not the entire army. Nope. This time, so I have my Daughters of Cain that I played in Adepticon 2023. The only models that I'm going to add to the list, I'm adding 20 Spear Girls, Spear Snakes. So I have 6 built. I'm working on number 7 right now. So we're going to bang out building the 20 of these, and then I'm going to get them painted. I've got 11 days. So hopefully we'll get her done. Here's the scheme I have isn't ridiculously tough. A lot of browns and like a yellowish here. Some gold, just gold. I went with green for the hats on these, and then like a paler skin. So green and purple is the color scheme for the army. I haven't painted any spear snakes, so I'm going to be able to do all 20 of them and get them however I decide to do them right before. So, so we'll see what I can do with it. 11 days, 20 models. Building them's the hard part. So I started in London, and I was 10 days, 11 days, right? 11. Did I say 20? 11 days. No. I have 20 models in 11 days. 11 days. 21st. Whatever. Same shit. Hopefully I can bang out this entire thing, building all of them. Yeah, 21st is when it starts, but I got all night before dice drop. Yeah, whatever. 10 days. I'll get it done. I talked to you about it. This is your fucking plan. Running Daughters of Cain because then it's easier to get it painted. It's my fault, I guess, for going on a trip right before. But I'll tell you, I'll go on that trip every single time. And these don't go they don't go together too terribly, honestly. I mean, they're pretty easy to build. I swear to God, this glue gets dried out so easily, but it's such good glue. I mean, stuff sticks like that. So, for as many days as I can, I'm gonna, yeah, yours has gotten dried out. I was there when it happened. So I'm gonna bang out this army as quickly as possible. I'm gonna hopefully maybe get it built today. We'll see. Get some practice games in tonight and tomorrow with Jake and Ethan, and then I go to work for 5 days. Then I'm off for a few right before the tournament. Luckily, the tournament's up in Lansing where I work, what I'll probably come home for a little bit so I can get a few more games in. And then head back up there for the tournament. And then I'm off on vacation again. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to go anywhere. But I'm going to definitely start working on Lumineth Realm Lords. I picked up 5 more of the Kangaroo Bowmen. And then one of the characters, I can't remember. Cenarian Lightner. So, picked that up yesterday while I was out and about. I was trying to decide. I'll make sure I'm up there whenever I make sure I'm up there. If I have to, I'll just give you a key. I have 2 keys. And I have 2 parking spots. Otherwise, you'd be fucked. Because you'd have to, I don't know where you'd park. I guess you could have parked over at the event center. But yeah, I'll bring, when I go up there for work, I'll bring home my key and I'll get you set up with what to do. It's not real hard in case I don't go up there Thursday. I mean, I probably will. Why are you going up there Thursday night? That's early as fuck. Oh. Oh, that's right. Are you playing with Luke? Just occurred to me, I worked on my Jeep yesterday and my hands are dirty as hell, and I've got basically my hand model on the screen right now. Well, that'll be fun times. Maybe I'll go up there Thursday and just hang with Miranda, I guess. I don't know. Well, I may end up just staying up there then, I guess, because I get off of work. I don't like doubles. Although, after talking to Jeff on stream, I probably would like this doubles. Maybe next year. I get off of work Wednesday morning. And then I'd be driving home Wednesday night. And then driving back Thursday. So, I don't know. We'll see what I'm going to end up doing. Yeah, 3 games for the games that matter. Three games of Team Warhammer, which is a shit format. Refresher on the rules. You don't know how to play Warhammer? You play all the time. One thing you don't need is a refresher on the rules. Boom. Snake. Could glue these on bases, I suppose. Yeah, but it's going to be boring times for you and Miranda. Or for Miranda, rather. Because then that's 3 days of her sitting and watching you play Warhammer. French-tastic, what's going on? You're right on time to listen to me waffle while I build spear gals. And scratch my ears. So, my list that I'm playing, obviously Daughters. I'm going to use the battle formation that gives you strike first on charges of 8 or more with your snaky boys. What's the Diggy Hole song? So anyways, my list is going to be Marathi, 10 bow snakes, 2 units of the javelin gals, the flying javelin folk, and then it's hard to talk and look for parts. I already freaking clipped that part. And then 20 Spirogals and the Iron Scale, Medusa Iron Scale. Then obviously Morbikanj. And my Iron Scale will take the Zealot that lets me roll 3 extra dice for bringing bros back. And also the ability to teleport to get her where she needs to be. So, me and Jake talked about it. We'd like to branch out some of our streams and have some more stuff besides just us doing our weekly show. Try to grow our channel a little bit. And so that's what we're doing. Right now, like I said, I'm just doing some hobby stuff here to talk to people if they're around. And And then Jake has been doing some bat reps. I think he did a bat rep with Luke. I was in Ireland. I watched it for a few minutes, but obviously I didn't want to waste a lot of data watching stuff from there. For some reason, at some point, I was convinced that buying a MacBook was the way to go for school when I was in grad school. And it worked out great for me. However, I can't run TTS. So when I'm up at work, there's a lot of times where I could play a game and we could do a stream. But sadly, I can't on that machine. Oh, I think that was supposed to be there. Oops. Oh, gotta go now. What is it? I'm gonna click on something and fuck up this whole thing.
Food prices are just too high. Kamala Harris's plan will...
You're out of control. You sent me a Trump advertisement. What? Oh, it's music. Diggy diggy hole. What am I supposed to run that on the stream? I'll listen to it. Do you mean instead of the music I'm playing? Is it copyrighted? I'd hate for them to cut out my audio again. I've already gone over 2. Oh, it's a fun thing. All right. I don't know how loud it is on the stream, but we'll see. definitely a type of dwarf. Um, but they don't have the good armored, Lord of the Rings type dwarves. The problem is that when you do play that army is they're all slow. They all move 4 inches, and I don't know. I agree though. I like dwarves. It's every time I play in a D&D campaign, I play a dwarf. A lot of my characters when we played Alliance in World of Warcraft were dwarves. It'd be cool if they came up with some. Maybe someday they will. The ones in cities are just old dwarves, and they're all the same pose. I mean, I guess I could print some and play them in a city's army, but I don't know. Oh, we're meeting Cheryl now.
Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
Yeah. I mean, this is what seems like a cool band, but I really think this is probably copyrighted. So I didn't really talk about London since I've had a mic. I don't think. I really enjoyed their tube system. to get around London. You just hop on a train, and the cost is really, really low. Most of the days it was less than £2 to get around, so like less than $2. You can get on and off, and as long as you use the same card, no matter how many times you switch tracks and things, it was the same cost. And it cost more if you went longer distances. So if you went outside of zones, on their map they have everything set up in a zone, and like most touristy stuff is in like zone 1, and I was staying in zone 2. So I crossed one zone, so it cost me the amount that it costs to cross that one zone. No matter how many times I went back and forth, didn't matter. How many times I left the train area, as long as I stayed inside zone 1 and 2, it never cost me more. Now, if I went to zone 3, they would tack on a little bit more. It would be, you know, another $1 or something. But then, as long as I didn't leave zone 3, and I stayed in 1, 2, and 3, then it didn't cost me any more for that day. And then the way that I got around, I used a little app that kind of directed me in which trains to take, how many stops to wait, and things like that. And it was great. I cannot speak highly enough of how those folks in London get around. I used the bus a handful of times, but really, it was always on the train. I took a Jack the Ripper tour, which was really cool. And it was in kind of a sketchy part of town, well, especially back then. But the lady kind of asked, what's your favorite thing about London? And that's what I said. I mean, there's hundreds of things. Like you could say, Tower of London, or the Tower Bridge, or I really liked the Shard, going up in the Shard and looking down over the city. But I mean, I'm telling you, Westminster Abbey, all the great touristy things, Buckingham Palace, blah blah blah, Queen's Garden. But I'll tell you, the coolest thing was the fucking train. I want to go back there just for the train. Just because it's super easy to get around. It was kind of cool. I went to Abbey Road, where the Beatles crossed the road for the cover of the album. Kind of have to go there at a time of day when there's not a lot of people. I went there in the morning. There were a ton of people there. It's kind of funny. Abbey Road's obviously a really long road, and when I put in Abbey Road into my my app, it was like, yeah, Abbey Road. There's a train station there. I was like, sweet. Was not anywhere near where the Beatles crossed the road. It's kind of out in the country, and so I had to take the train back and then go back, and it ended up actually being really close to where I was staying in Bethnal Green. One of my favorite experiences was also just being there in Bethnal Green. It's not a normal touristy area. It's kind of off the beaten path, nothing really close. But what it did have was tons of really cool little shops. It had a strong Bengali population. and so it kind of made me feel like I was a little bit in that area of the world. Obviously, it's London, but and then it was really close, like 5 minutes walking distance to a tube station, which worked out great for me while I was there every single day. Would not have changed a thing about that. I had a tour guide when I went to Oxford, and it was Oxford, Windsor Castle, and Stonehenge. And the tour guide was asking people, because there was like a demonstration or something going on, and so we weren't going to be able to go back to our normal tube station or bus station or whatever. And he was asking, where people were so he could help them get directions back to where they belonged. And I told him where I was staying, and he was like, "What are you doing there? You have family?" He just was real confused as to why some American tourists would be hanging out in Bethnal Green. And I said, no. I don't need to stay downtown. I mean, the beauty of the entire city is everything's super well connected. I think probably if you don't live there, or if you do live there, you don't understand. Like, it's just how it is for you, and so like to you it's no big deal, but like for me, being an outsider, and like the big city around me is Detroit. Obviously I go to Chicago, and I've been to a lot of cities, but the big difference is the public transportation in Europe is ridiculous. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, you could basically take a train to France if you want to. Like I was saying, these aren't too bad to build. The models are themselves fairly clean, not a lot of mold lines. I love that the first question Mike threw down was, are you building another army for a tournament 10 days before again? No. Although I did consider it. I have an entire Ghost Army built, but not painted, and I think it would be fairly efficient to throw paint on it with my airbrush. But I decided not to. I needed to get, I think I would need a box of crossbows and for my list. And I know I needed 2 more Dreadblade Heroes. And they had both of those at the game room when I was up there. But since I decided not to play that list for this tournament, I'm not going to spend the money on it. Especially since I think that definitely the Dreadblades are going to get nerfed. And I think they're probably going to end up nerfing the ability to add +1 to hit and wound at ranged from the seasonal rules. And if they do that, then things are going to change immensely. And that would make the crossbows basically significantly less useful. As it is, I think they're a pretty strong unit. I was talking to Jake about it last night. They ignore negatives to hit. They also ignore visibility. They have a 16-inch shot. I think it's hitting on 4s and 3s. So 3s and 2s with the +1 to hit units that are invisible or in the general's regiment. But they are only run 1 damage. They have 2 shots each. So I mean, with the ability to shoot stuff they can't see, they're strong. With the +1 to hit and wound from the season rules, they're pretty strong. But if that goes away, they're just bros. And Dreadblade Heroes are obviously probably the most broken unit in the game right now, because they can teleport during your opponent's turn, setting themselves up to get free tactics on your next turn. Because the rules for the tactics are that the units that are taking like real estate on the board have to they can't be set up that turn. But if you could teleport in your opponent's turn to set up for the next turn, you're golden. I feel like the move against Ghosts is to go second, to at least make it so they have to do a tactic on the first turn that doesn't involve that. I don't love the heads on these guys. I feel like they're prone to fall off. Also, she looks like she's just lean and weird. I don't know if I just got this head on wrong. Yeah, it's better. All right, 2 more to go from this box, and then it's 2 boxes to go. I think I'm only going to do 2 of the snakes as champs, because I don't know that I'll ever run 4 individual units of these. Yeah, banging them out. I mean, that's only my second one today, technically. I did one last night. Playing with fire on stream is fun. So Jake, did it? Oh yeah. You must have. Did you change the stream's title? Because that's not the title I put in. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out how to do that. Maybe I'll just, have to log into our... Damn it. Thing if I'm doing it and you're not around to change it. Next time I go to Europe, or England, I want to go up to Nottingham and get to Warhammer World. I'd like to go to Manchester and watch a game. I didn't have time. I only had 4 days in England, and I had it pretty well booked with stuff that I needed to do. There was one day where I thought about trying to get out there, but it would have been too tough with the timing. I would have had to take a train all the way up. It's like a 4-hour trip, and then get back and make my plane, and I guess I wasn't really willing to risk it on that last day. And I went up in the Shard on that day, so that was kind of cool. When you only have 4 days and it's a place like London that you have so much stuff that you can see. I mean, you gotta get in what you can get in. Oh man, it's noon. Excuses. I mean, it's not an excuse, it's reality. Also, I didn't really look into Warhammer World at all. I didn't really know the timing of like when they were open, when you could get in. I don't know. Like I might have needed to stay in Nottingham a day and go there early in the morning or something. I didn't know. I'll just plan it next time, and then I'll do a day in Nottingham or a day and a half or something, and then I'll be able to go and like just hang there. Like I said earlier, I'm just trying to figure out if I'm going to be able to take the boys there next summer. I think that'd be cool to go with them. You can come. Well, I'll go to London. And then England. Maybe even Wales. I'm not gonna pay for you to go. You'll have to buy your plane ticket and most likely your Airbnb, unless we all get a big one. But I mean, then it's split. It's not that expensive to fly out there. I think it was 600 or maybe 800. I can't remember. Just go to Florida like 7 less times, and then you'll be able to just go on one big trip. didn't even eat at real expensive places. I mean, you can. Obviously, there's expensive places to eat, but I ate mostly at the pubs. Like once a day. Sometimes I'd eat breakfast. There was a McDonald's I went to every once in a while in the morning because it was just right there and it was cheap. And I mean, you don't go to England for their food. They're not known for having great cuisine. Although London has a lot of really like great Indian food and Chinatown. I really missed tacos while I was there, though. No, I didn't see any tacos anywhere. Trust me, if there's tacos, I'm eating them. Fish tacos are it. And then when we went to Ireland, it was only chowder. Chowder. All day, every day. Especially over on the west side. Seafood chowder. I had potato stew once. Then we cooked at the Airbnb a lot, which was cool. Sean's a really good cook. He made lamb one night. And I think we had steak one night. All from the grocery store. Cheap as shit. Good times. Building models. It might be the last of that sprue. Sure is. I think probably, I don't know, I haven't talked to Jake about it yet. We could talk about it now, I guess. We should do a pre-MIGT show. Talk about our lists. Stuff like that. So maybe Sunday, live from the Ohana room. Because we haven't done an actual show for a couple weeks now. We haven't really talked about a topic. Thought we might get one in on Sunday, but I was tired. Been going to bed early, which is going to be a problem come this weekend, Friday night. When I go back to work for 5 days. Snakes. I'll tell you, this is a beautiful set of models that GW threw together. Really like these snake gals. I don't know how I feel about the hair. It's okay. But it's kind of a lot. If there was something I was going to do to change these models up, it might involve this massive hair. They may look okay bald, to be honest. Snakes don't have hair. All right. 4 out of 5. All right. Great. I think we'll bang this one out and then take a break from the stream. Twenty-three, 22, 24, 25, 38. All right, let's smash this out. It's not really much to talk about when you're building models. Like, I think when I get to the painting, it's going to be a little bit better to talk about what I'm doing. Probably a lot of downtime with the building. Hey Camille, first time chatter, welcome to the stream. Camille? Just building some models for an upcoming GT. So good. How are you doing today? Good. You just stopping by? Do you play Sigmar? Oh, you're from Germany. Chunger's my buddy, my co-host on the show. He's working right now, so obviously not very hard. I was just in London last week. I'm hoping to make it to Germany eventually, but we're from the U.S. $40K is cool. Historical stuff's cool as well. Well, welcome. I'm not to the painting stage yet. I'm working on. We have a GT coming up here in town, or in our state rather. That we're preparing for. I'm 10 days out, and so I'm trying to get these Blood Sisters done, built and painted before that tournament. I guess I should probably get a black piece of cardboard, but I'm in the building stages right now. Okay. Printing a modern missile truck. I definitely do a lot of model printing. Myself, so I know how that goes. Right now, I'm mostly printing bases for my Lumineth Realm Lord's army. Which I'll be working on as soon as this GT is over. Jake and I don't really play a lot of 40k. I own, I think, 6 armies for 40k. But I don't generally play a lot. I just like the models. Are you a tournament player? Or are you just casual? What are you into with your gaming? Yeah, I mean, you know, I think that's part of the printing game. So on occasion you hit the snags. Oh, you only paint? That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, hopefully you'll come back and critique me while I'm doing the painting portion, which will probably happen sometime later this week if I'm able to get it on stream. I work Midnight's job. And so I've got 5 days of work coming up, so I'll be unable to do much then. So I'm just trying to get everything built and primed. That way, when I head over to work, I can. You're not good. I'm sure you're pretty good. Here's the paint scheme I'm using. Gosh. I don't have anything black. Here, let's use this. That's the paint scheme I'm doing with my snakes. Kind of a deserty base, basic stuff. I liked the green and the purple, like the jade feel to these. So that's what I did. And so I had a lot of this done for a tournament called Adepticon in Chicago, Illinois. Thanks. In Chicago in 2023, and so then I've decided to add a few models. So I've got about 10 days to bang these out, which is fine. I'll get it done. Like an actual leopard, or is that a type of tank? Okay. I was going to say, when I was just over in Ireland, so I went to London and Ireland, and it seemed like leopard print was in style, let's just say. Everyone I saw was wearing freaking leopard print, and I thought it was hilarious. So I wasn't certain. Thought maybe it was a total Europe thing. Oh, I see. Okay, well, that's cool. Yeah, the historics. I got a buddy that is way into historical models and painting, and I've definitely played a handful of games in the historical realm, but it's never really been. I'm into the fantasy thing, like witches, wizards, and warlocks, and so that's always kind of been my genre. but I can definitely understand why people are into this Storix. It's a lot of fun to replay some of the battles that were nice. The replaying of some of those battles is pretty cool. I like to see all the painted models on the table for the Storix. It's cool to be a collector though too. Like I said, I have tons of 40K stuff, and I don't think I've played a game for 2 editions. I think actually that's not true. Me and my youngest son tried to play 1 game, and then we went back to playing Age of Sigmar. All right. 32 and 31. Oh, shoot. What models do you like for 40K? Oh, I love salamanders. Yeah. Yeah. If I was going to do Marines, it's one of my favorite armies. I really like the salamanders. I like the green. Yep, the green boys. I like their storyline. I like their traditionally like charcoal skin. It's pretty cool. You know, I also really like Blood Angels. I think they just got a new set that came out. I definitely would be hyped if I played the game. Yeah, Green Onyx boys. Yep, definitely like the salamanders and the flamers. Like they're into the flamers and stuff. It's pretty cool. Definitely an awesome list, awesome army. One that I at one point hoped to have built. You know, sometime I think I'm gonna just for display, just paint up a bunch of individual Space Marines. Yeah, can't hate on fire. But yeah, just have like one display of just a bunch of different Space Marines painted in different, in all the different colors, and I think it'd be pretty cool. Especially since it's not really a game that I need an entire army for. It'd be cool. Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously you're painting for display, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's something I might do once I get caught up with all my other stuff. I think I have about 20 armies to paint for Sigmar first. I don't know what I was thinking when I had the clippers upside down here. That was a lot easier than trying to trim it off. Oh, that'd be sweet, dude. I saw I wish I could show the pictures on here. I don't have them on my computer. I saw this sweet. There was a Warhammer store in London downtown, and I went in. It was the only Warhammer I did the entire trip, was stopping at this store, and they had a nice display that was like, it wasn't in an aquarium, but you could easily see it in an aquarium. Like it was like a huge diorama with like an entire board that was about the shape of a pretty large aquarium. And then I watched some videos. I told Jake to watch where these guys used like a army, like a bucket to do their army transport. It's not like, I mean, it was like a clear bucket, and then and he didn't like how the things looked with it just sitting on the bottom, so he turned it into a diorama where he had multiple levels and put the base down inside this thing, so then it would look in essence just like what you're talking about. But the models on the bases, he cut little holes so then they fit into like their each individual spot, and then had magnets down there so he could use it to transport, but also it was a display. And I thought, well, that's really freaking cool, because if you, and then they stacked, so if you did multiples, you could do like your own display case and just stack them on top of each other if you had some kind of way to light them. 80 by 35 centimeters. I'm trying to picture that in my mind. So that's not like a huge one. That wouldn't be too bad. Let me see here. So 30. I got a ruler out so I can picture this. 35. It would be your depth. 80s. Yeah. I know you're not in inches. I know. So 35 centimeters would be just almost 14 inches, and 80 is real close to 32 inches. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, we do a lot of dumb shit in America. But it's true. Inches is what we do. What part of Germany are you in? And what, like, I guess I really don't know a lot of the areas. I mean, I guess I know that Berlin is towards the north and Munich's towards the south. I guess that's really all I know. Saxony, Lower Saxony. I'm Googling that. Okay. So close to like the Netherlands, towards the north, but west of Berlin. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Nice. Well, that'll be on the list when I get to Germany. Originally, I had a plan to get over there right around when COVID was. I was going to go by myself and do like a solo trip. And I was going to fly into Amsterdam, then train over to Berlin. Probably would have went right through, obviously right through Lower Saxony. And then I was going to go down to Munich, over to Poland, and go to Krakow. Just to visit Auschwitz, and then I was gonna go to Italy. Had everything booked and planned, and then COVID came. So instead, I stayed home and worked. But that's still on my list of places and things I'd love to do eventually when I get the opportunity. Your grandparents? Oh, okay. I am mostly German and Polish in my ancestry. Number one German, number two Polish, and so like Germany and Poland are two places that I really want to visit and spend some time. See what I can see about my ancestry. How the hell does this go? Oh, I did put the glue in the right place. Did I? I don't think I did. Yeah, I mean, I'm into historical stuff. It's not about, I guess, I mean, I would have to go then. What you're saying is go when it's not so hot, spring or fall, maybe. Um, but I'm into historical stuff. I want to go to, and, you know, like artistic stuff. So, like, when I was in London, I didn't, I mean, restaurants are cool and things, but I went to, you know, Tower of London and the Tower Bridge and the London Bridge um, and the Parliament and you know, so like just historical buildings, castle, you know, that's what I want to see. And obviously Auschwitz is huge historically, but and you know, Italy and Rome. Have a ton of history, and that's what I would be going for. So as far as like what it looks like, if it looks like Texas, Germany's got castles. I know. I mean, I am certain. I would love to just spend, you know, weeks driving from place to place in Germany to see castles. So on this last trip, I went to London for a few days by myself, and then I met I met my one of me and Jake's cousins in Ireland, and we went all over. And Ireland, it seems like there's a castle in every town, and so that was really cool to get around and see all that. That's what I was saying earlier. It's kind of a cool thing to get out there and see. Some of the stuff that all the terrain that we build and things is kind of based off of. It's not that it's like you think when you're building stuff, you're like, oh, this is just the concept of what the terrain would look like, but no, pretty much that's what a ruined castle looks like. And it's just really cool to get out there and do that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, those are two places high on my list, like very high on my list. Probably, probably somewhere I'd want to take my two kids. So maybe in a couple years. All right, we're about done with this unit of 5. What is this? 4 more parts. Then it's 10 models to go till we get to the painting process. What's taking me so long? I've only been on stream for an hour and a half, and I've banged out 4 of these things. Took you 6 months to build 3 Moorbag Knights. Probably longer than that. Yeah. I don't have anything running on my printer right now. Yeah, but it took you 6 months to do 3. I don't have anything on my printer right now. Recently, I've been printing bases for these models. Not these, but for my Lumineth models. I've been doing these toppers. So they're just little thin diorama type bases. And then when you do the models, they just sit right on top of the black base. It just makes it easier because then you know that your black base is flat. So if you can get this flat on the model, then you're in better shape. So that's what I've decided to do, is these base toppers instead of full bases, because I have tons of these black bases. Obviously every model comes with them, and so this is going to be the new style of bases that I print. I got a piece of terrain, if I get to it, for this army, for the display board that's printed and sitting on a table behind me. But that is if I get to it. I think building models is probably, I think I've already said this, but I think it's probably the worst part of this. I just want them to be built. But then if I said that, then I would just say, well, then painting's the worst part. Just want them to be painted. Looks like we're 20 followers away from our goal of 50 on Twitch. And something I guess I haven't mentioned is we're also on YouTube. You can watch all of our old streams on YouTube. We have a Facebook group. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. Yeah. Hit that follow button, Camille. Come back and see me when I'm painting. Or Jake, when he's doing some work, he also does a lot of work on the stream. And then we do our own show called Old Man Gaming Hour, which we talk about Age of Sigmar, but I mean, you know, we welcome all guests and all topics. So boom. All right. I have a unit. Base these boys up and be good to go. 10 to go. These bases have these chunks from the sprue. I've never seen this before. Not on a base. All right. Let's just slap these babies down. Cool. Busted the head off. We'll see if it sticks. Camille, jump on our Discord. I don't know. Maybe there will be a link somewhere. Looks like if you're on the Twitch, you can jump on our Discord. And send me some pictures of your tanks that you're working on. I'd love to see that. Oh, well, that's too bad. Yep, looks like he's gone. It's all right. We're going to wrap it up here shortly anyways. As soon as I get these bad boys on the bases. I think I'm going to get some food, and maybe hit the gym. Need to get my life right. Before I come back and do 10 more. I think building's a little on the boring side for streaming. We may not stream the rest of the building. Wait till I get them together and ready to paint. So, I guess we can put them all out here. One full squad. And Deadpool. One down, 10 to go. I think that's about all I'm going to do for right now. So thanks for sticking it out for me. No, he's not in AoS. He's in Marvel Crisis Protocol, which is actually a superior game. Anyways, thanks for sticking it out with me, Jake. It was fun talking to you, and thanks for the few people that jumped on and had some things to say. And I'm sure we'll talk again real shortly. See ya.